Hello, and we're back again. I've had a couple of really busy weeks actually, and just haven't been able to get my head around doing a wee video for you. But I thought today would be a good day to do a video because it's Father's Day today, and my garden is a big nod to my dad. And I just thought you might like to see how things are going because honestly, the last 3 weeks have been just amazing. We've had a lot of rain here, and in fact, I see the thunderclouds gathering again, so we might get another downpour here. We had some hail, which you will see on my plants did a bit of a number, but not as bad as some parts of Calgary. So thankful for that we didn't have any huge losses here. So my friends over there in Northern Ireland, hail to you. Pinhead size probably. You don't really, that's not really a factor, not something you have to worry too much about, but it is a bit of a factor right here at times, and we definitely did get a really good dump of it, so we did. But today's video is a tribute to my dad. You know, my dad was a wonderful man, and any of you over there in the old country that had the privilege of knowing him will attest to that he was a very, very unique person. And I don't think I truly appreciated my dad and all that he was until I, became an adult myself, and raising a family and all of those things, and just thinking back on my dad's life and the legacy that he left us, his kids, his grandchildren, and his great-grandchildren now. And my dad was so many things. It was hard to actually come up with one word that sums up my dad, because he was so many things. He wasn't perfect, but he was perfect for us, and he just was a wonderful man. I think one of the outstanding things about my dad, got that far away look in my eye, I know I have, but he's very kind. My dad's very kind, and he met people where they were, and he was fully engaged with them. So whatever you were going through, he could just adjust to you and to your situation. So if you had just lost a family member, my dad could just be there present and sympathize and share with your grief. If you had just had a new baby and the joy that brings into your family, he was there for that too. He had a great emotional breath where he could just enter in where people were at. And the mosquitoes are out, I'm sorry. And as I've gotten older, I've really appreciated that quality that he had. And he didn't hold on to things, he didn't, I don't know how to put this. When good things happen, especially whenever he would have been honoured, because he was honoured at times, and good things were said about him, but he never held on to that. He didn't walk about afterwards with this, oh, that was nice to hear that about me. No, he let it go. He was there in the moment, and then he let it go. And same with hard stuff and negative stuff, and here's the rain coming as well. He was there in the moment, but he could let it go. My dad, here's the word, resilient. He was kind, and he was resilient. He was a very godly man, God-fearing, loved the Lord, loved God's people, loved the church. Very, very unique man. And I miss him today. Today's Father's Day, and last Tuesday would have been his birthday. And I'm just missing my dad this week, and thinking a lot about him, especially as I've been poking around in my garden. So here, I'm going to flip the phone around, and we're going to see what's been going on. There we go. Look at that. Oh, Try and get a good angle here for you. So as you can see, lots going on. I'm just going to back up a little bit here because I did do some planting in under the apple tree there. This gets quite a bit of shade, so I just had to go with plants that like to be in the shade. So we just put some hostas in and some daylilies there, and that's lady's mantle is that leafy green one beside the daylilies. And remember I said my apple tree is on its rest here? Well, I do know, back in here, where are we? Look, we will have a few apples from those blooms that we have, but look at my potatoes. Look at that. You know what? I'm amazed. Every time I come out here, I am amazed. So we have the 2 bins. Look at them, and then these are the in the ground potatoes. These are all reds. All these ones here, and the ones in the bins are reds as well. And they really survived the the hail. No problems there at all. My cauliflower got a little bit stressed. I might have to stop this video actually, because it's actually starting to rain a bit here, quite a bit. But you can see they got peppered a little bit, but they're doing okay. They are still upright, still growing and doing all right. And there's my, look, pole beans, my ring of fire, as I call it. Now, not all of them came up. You'll see there's a little gap there. So today I just popped in 3 or 4 more beans just to fill that space up. They didn't germinate. Oh well. Here are chives that I took from one plant out in the front yard, and so they're flowering, which gives a nice wee splash of colour there. And you can see the raindrops on the stones there. And this is spinach here, and then up here we have some more spinach, and that's just a wee, I think that's a chamomile plant. Came with a little flat that I got of daffodils, which I put out front. We're not doing the front today because there's just so much here to talk about. So that's that one. And if you look back to the last video, I don't even think the potatoes were even up yet. So it's wonderful, isn't it? So on the other side here, a few more chives. You can see some of those are white flowers. I don't know why that is, but there you go. And these are the white potatoes, and they're well up as well. And a row of carrots here. Now we have had probably about 3 torrential rainstorms in the last couple of weeks, and some of these carrots got washed away, literally got washed away, the seeds. So I have replanted where you don't see any leaves there. There are some new ones just popping up out of the ground, so that's okay. Our carrots will be ready at different times, and that's fine. So next we have a few more broccoli, as you can see, peppered as well from the hail. That's not insects, that's from the hail. And then we have the cabbage, and then we have the kale. And honestly, I looked at this kale today and thought, do you know what? We will be eating this kale probably by July 1st. And it is amazing to me to think that we could be actually eating stuff out of this garden in a couple more weeks. So that's that bed, and we're going to come down. Yeah, we'll come down, or will we, or should we go up? It's a tomato plant. Now that one there, sorry. That tomato plant is one that I just got about 3 weeks ago. They were selling them off cheap at the garden centre, and it was very dilapidated. And I think I only paid about $2 for this one, but it is doing well, and I just stuck it in that pot. It may go in the ground because I have a spot there where nothing came up, and I might pop it in that hole behind it there. But it's doing well. It's got flowers on it, and it's doing very well. And this is a yellow pear, so that'll be interesting. I've never grown Well, quite frankly, I've hardly ever grown tomatoes before, but this one, I'm just going to put a wee tag around there so you can get an idea of what is going on. I don't know how to use the camera. There we go. So, tomato, pear, yellow. So that'll be interesting. So this gets quite tall, gets up to 1 meter tall. So that's why I'm not too sure whether it should stay in that pot or not. So we're going to come down here to our raised bed. Wait till you see. Look at this. Look at the growth here. These peas. Oh my goodness, I almost cried the first pea that I saw. Look. So please don't pass any remarks about my makeshift support system here. Oh, listen to that. Do you hear that? We could get another big dump of rain here, so we could. But already, I mean, that is a foot. So that is so impressive. So I'm going to have to string along some more. I am going to put some chicken wire or something along the back here. We get going, and look at those white flowers. And of course we know that white flowers mean strawberries. And look, can you look at that? Honestly, this really does my head in. I'm like, I mean, I know we expect it. We plant things and we expect them to grow, but then when they do, it just gives us such excitement. It's kind of like babies, isn't it? I mean, expect them to grow, expect them to mature and be able to achieve things, and they smile and they start recognizing the people in their lives, and they start eating food, they start pulling themselves up, they start crawling, they walk, and all these stages, progress that they go through. But it doesn't take away from our amazement. We know it's going to happen. There is an expectancy of growth and progress that we expect in the physical realm and the spiritual as well, I would say, but it's still amazing when we see it. We still get excited. I have 3 grandchildren, and I'm excited by every milestone that they pass, and and it's the same in the garden. I expect these strawberries to bear fruit, but when they are, it's still pretty amazing and pretty exciting. So my carrots have all germinated here, and look at the radish. They've filled that space up. They're actually almost ready, I think, to be I'm just gonna tug at that a wee bit. Oh gosh, no, we're gonna leave that there for another. I think July 1st. We're gonna take stuff out of the garden July 1st. So my marigolds, as you see, it's grown from seed. Look, there's a flower right there. So I'm excited to have a wee splash of colour back in here, and we'll talk about the other fruit, the raspberries. There's raspberries on the wee bushes as well over there. But I want to take you down to my friendship box here. This is my friendship box. So in here, like you see, the onions at the back there that we transplanted from my ice cube trays. I don't know if I told you about that. Did I tell you about that? I got a set of onions and I just put them into ice cube trays, a little bit of water, and they rooted, started to grow roots and started to sprout. So I kept them in there for a couple of weeks or so before I transplanted them out here. And look at them. So they're nice, they're growing tall and slender, and they are friends with the tomatoes. And the tomatoes are doing well. And if you look in here, look at that. Unbelievable. That just cheers my heart up so much. You know, I suppose for when I'm down here, I just do a little bit of waiting. So I'm just going to wait as I'm talking to you. You seasoned gardeners, do you still get excited when things start growing in the garden? Or is it, oh well, that's what happens and whatever? I hope I never lose this. It's almost like a childlike excitement on Christmas morning. Like, oh, the presents are under the tree. I wonder what's inside. And that's what this garden has been for me. It's just, I come out here and it's like Christmas morning, and you find something else that's growing, or maybe not growing. I've had a few disappointments, but honestly not too many so far, so that's good. So there we have our onions, and we have our tomatoes, and then we have our carrots, and then we have more marigolds. And these guys are all friends. They all serve a purpose. The marigolds, they have an aroma which if you rub them, you will smell. It's quite a strong aroma, and the bugs don't like that aroma. So that's why they're planted in between the carrots here and the tomatoes, because they will keep the bugs away. That's the plan anyway. Trying to be as organic as we can here, and have things together that like to be together. So I've called this the friendship bags, and there it is, and everything's happy and growing well together. And you know, especially in these times that we're living in, sometimes we forget that we're all one, really. There's not very much that separates us, really, and we need to learn to appreciate each other's differences. And maybe you have someone in your life that gives off a bit of an aroma at times, but you know what, maybe they're keeping the bugs away from you. You know, we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and those lovely tall slender onions there, I have, you know, friends in my life that are like that, tall and slender, and then there's me. I'm a little bit more bushier, like that tomato plant there, but we've all been put here together by God, and let's just be kind. Let's be kind to each other. So we're just going to swing back up here. This is looking at the garden from the back here. You see my clematis on the trellis there. Bit of a disappointment there. The hail took off almost all of the heads, the top stems, so I don't know if we're going to have too many blooms this year. But anyway, they're still there, they're doing their thing, and we'll just be thankful for that and let them get on with it. I did transplant those, I cannot remember the name. I'm going to have to find out actually again the name of that, but that's a good ground cover, so I just popped that in there. And my nasturtiums that I thought were doing nothing, now they're doing something. I honestly think the fairies brought a couple in, because I really did think nothing was going on here, but there they are. And so they're coming along. I did nip off some of the lower branches, or lower leaves rather, and that's why they're, you know, a little bit spindly, but they'll fill out. They'll bush out a bit. And do you hear the rain? I'm going to have to cut this short. Alright, so the storm came, and you know what, it actually rained for quite a while, so I had to wait, and now it's just after 9 o'clock, so the light is changing a little bit, but we're just going to finish up. We don't have too much left to show you, but I did forget to show you this little duet here. Remember? A watermelon. Of all the seeds that we started, only 2 germinated, and I'm just looking at this one and wondering what is going on here. So we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. Now, on the packet it said that these can grow up to 8 feet, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not convinced it's going to happen, but you never know. So let's just head back up onto the deck here, and we talked about our nasturtiums and how they're coming along. And I found 2 more right here, so I popped them in this hanging pot here, and that's going to go in the well. And I have a couple more, and then on the other side there that go in the well as well. That's going to go well. And then my marigolds, look at this, I have excess of marigolds, doing well. Our lettuce is very dirty looking. There's a weed. Our lettuce, so that's about 4 inches, maybe 3.5 or so. So it's coming along. It actually got beaten down with the hailstorm. There wasn't a whole lot left, so a lot of this is new growth actually, so that's pretty impressive in just over a week, so that's pretty good. And I think I showed you my Sweet Williams the last time. I honestly do not know what this is, and I don't know what that is, but the rest is Sweet Williams. So we're going to divide these out and put them into these bigger pots, because I don't think I have room for them in my garden, but we'll see. I can give some away. You can always give stuff away, right? So there's my parsley, a couple of different types that I had to go and buy tiny little pots of that because the seed did not do a thing, nothing. So that was a fail. But these guys were tiny, and I only put them in there last week, and they have just gone nuts already, so that's great. So this is another tomato plant that I got same time as I got the yellow pear one, excuse me. And this is getting dirty, oh well. It's a tomato bush beefsteak, so these get big. We'll see. Again, we'll see. We'll have to wait quite a while, I would think, for that. But this one here, look at this one. Look at this baby. And this is a tomato patio. So these produce a medium-sized tomato. Again, we will wait and see. This is my minty pot. Delicious. I love mint. Love it. This one here is some kind of variety. I never knew there were so many varieties of mint, and I picked this one just because, you know, I rubbed it between my fingers like this and smelled it, and that was the one. And the one in the foreground I've had before. I've grown this before, and it's yum too. It is chocolate mint. So the stems, the darker stems, and in the darker leaves, it does have this chocolatey minty flavor. So delicious. I'm hoping this year that these guys do well, and might have to separate them into their own pot, and then I can get to dry some, which is the ultimate plan. These are the little boxes that go into the wells. So there's nasturtium growing there, nasturtium growing there. Like I said before, I think I have fairies in my garden. So many weeds, so little time. Actually, I don't have that many weeds in my garden. That mulch does the trick. It does the trick. Keeps the moisture in and keeps the weeds down. So you can see it looks like it has been eaten alive, but that's actually hail damage. So, and oregano, my favorite Greek herb. Hopefully that will fill the pot this year too, and we'll get to dry some of that. And then just a couple more tomato plants and marigolds that kind of duplicate what is on the other side there. Okay, so that is it. Oh, sorry, hope I'm not swinging around too quickly there and give you a bit of a headache. But there we go. There's the garden, and as I said before, this is definitely a nod to my dad, and who's with the Lord now, and it's just lovely to reinvent this in my space. My dad used to grow a huge garden for us kids, for the family, when we were growing up. Massive garden he would grow, and you know, my dad could have put his hand to pretty much anything. And so I've been thinking a lot about him as I've been doing this garden. You know, wish he was still with us and I could tell him about it and ask him questions, but he's in a better place, and I'm just so thankful that I had the father that I have. And he definitely was not a perfect reflection, because that's impossible, but he was a very good indicator to me of my Heavenly Father, the love and the care that he had for me and my sister and my 4 brothers growing up was second to none. And as we got older, and I know we all could say this, testify to this, that we just came to love him more and more as the years went by, and appreciate him and everything that he stood for and everything that he was. A privilege to call him my father. Like, subscribe, please leave a comment if you've got something you'd like to say, suggestion, a question. Let's interact with each other. I would love to answer your questions. I would love to hear from you, and let's build a little community here. That would be awesome. So please do leave a comment, ask a question, and if I don't know the answer, I will do my utmost to find out for you. I watch enough other YouTubers on gardening that I should be able to find an answer for you. I'm probably going to do a little tomato video. I get a few questions about that, so we might do that, a short little video on that coming up here soon. But until next time, please take care of yourselves and take care of those that you love. And if you're a gardener, and happy gardening to you too. And it's just been great having you back here today, and we'll come back again another day. God bless. See you soon. Bye.